There are absolutely no words for the level of anxiety that I have while I have all of my equipment out here at this beautiful beach. You guys, thank you all for joining me back here for another episode of Blockchain at the Beach. That's right, I'm your host, Julie Kinnis, and as always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network and sponsored by our good friends over at Market Cipher. You guys, if you have not checked out Market Cipher, you like my new banner, by the way? It looks good, huh? If you have not had a chance to check out Market Cipher, you will want to check them out because they provide some top-notch trading tools that you will want to integrate with TradingView. So if you guys are new here to the channel, go ahead and smash the subscribe. I go live every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time, talking about all things crypto and bringing you crypto news. Typically, I am sitting at a desk. And I am with my Market Cipher, and I do not have my Market Cipher bot with me today, but I am here getting some sun at the beautiful beach. So let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin a little bit because you guys, Bitcoin had a little bit of a pump yesterday and has had a tiny bit of a pullback today. So going ahead and talking about Bitcoin, currently sitting at 61,900. The rest of the market is also feeling it because Ethereum is trading at 1,500, 1,550, just about right in there. So Solana, we have it trading at $66, $65, $66, right in that range. So everything is still kind of relatively flat from yesterday. One of the big things that we spoke about yesterday was the IPOs, the upcoming IPOs that are coming out, because we do have Anthropic, we have SpaceX IPO. There are so many IPOs that are getting ready to come out that are likely to pull not only some attention, but also some liquidity away from our space. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that. But something more importantly to note, the people who have been holding on to said stocks, whether it be Anthropic, SpaceX IPO, you have people that have been in and holding these, whether they worked there or currently work there, they probably have these in their portfolio. So what happens when IPO goes live? You have people who, hello, you're so adorable. There's a cute little doggy behind me. Hold on. Let's see, is he right here? Right here? This cute little butt. Oh my gosh. I don't know where he went. There he is. He stopped and looked at me for a second. Anyway, ADD is ADDing out here on the beach, you guys. So we have IPOs coming up, which people have been holding on to and will likely be dumping. So if you're not someone who got in on these IPOs early, if you've ever ridden an IPO before, you all know chances are it's going to drop. So if we have liquidity leaving our space, sucked out to go into IPO, chasing IPOs, and then that's going to sell off, you know what happens. You get nuked on one side, you get nuked on the other. So what's something that we want to start looking at is four-year market cycles, because I'm starting to look at scaling in and what scaling in on Bitcoin is going to look like for me, because I have had an entry price. I said we were going to go back to 69, but that, 69 Bitcoin just left 69. But do we see that there is potential for another pullback? Well, yes. So looking at a potential pullback from here, we're going to go down into the 50s. We are potentially going to see 58 next area of range if we break down below here. And we could see some potential paper hands. We're going to see people getting scared, more people putting pressure on the market. Will we see Michael Saylor buying more, bringing his average cost basis price down? I potentially do see that. But with these IPOs that are coming up, if you want to get in on the Anthropic IPO, the SpaceX IPO, the best way to go about that is, if you're not in early, just play the ETF. Wait and see what happens post IPO, because post IPO, you're going to see a drop where everybody sells, and then there's going to be capitulation. There's going to be people who are, you know what, I actually kind of believe in this. I kind of believe in this. So we're going to see some movement all around the markets. Now, scaling in, oh my gosh, here comes another cute little doggy. I'm going to try and not get too ADD on you guys. Scaling in on the market, I will start to make some purchases in around the 50K Bitcoin range. When you start to look at scaling in, you can do market orders if you want to set yourself a market order. If you really think that Bitcoin is going to go to 44, 45, 43, if you really think Bitcoin is going to crash, you're probably going to see it on a flash crash, something that occurs quickly. You're probably not going to be sitting at your desk when that happens. So when you set a market order, if that money is then pulled out of your account and is set aside, it's not sitting there for you to trade. So you have to know, how much are you going to set aside for this market order? What if that market order doesn't hit? Okay, so you don't want to put your entire allotment in for a market order, because chances are you're going to see some pain, especially if, you know, we get down into the 58, we don't hit 40s, we don't, like, because 40s technically, off a 4-year bear mark, off a 4-year cycle, we could potentially see low 40 or high 40s. So if we see 40s and you're hanging on for 40s, what if we don't hit it? What if we don't hit it? So if we have too much buy pressure around the 50K range, you want to just be prepared. So if you have money set aside to go back in around 40K range, you want to do a limit order, just be careful. Have some aside, that way that you're ready to scale in responsibly, because that's what's going to end up happening, guys. The market's going to move, and it's going to move fast. All right, now geopolitically, there's a lot of stuff going on geopolitically. What I'm interested about is, I'm here around LA, and we've got FIFA World Cup is coming up, and we're supposedly at war. Is Iran going to be here for FIFA World Cup? It'll be interesting to see what plays out over the geopolitical versus what's actually going on. Because I don't hear us talking about war anymore. What's going on in Iran? Is it ceasefire? I mean, there's been some bombings in Israel, and that supposedly is supposed to have another ceasefire. But by and large, I feel like it's kind of starting to wind down in that region. And with that being said, I think it's going to scale up in another region, whether that's Cuba next, most likely. We're going to go to Cuba, but that would be quick, right? Hostility-wise, on a global scale, I think the U.S. looks like the big mean brother. Like, we always go around and we kind of just stomp around and do what we want. And I felt that a lot. I'm actually going to grab you guys and we're going to go for a walk. Hang on. I felt that a lot the most when I lived in Australia. Because in Australia, hopefully it doesn't get too glitchy. I was trying to stay in one spot just to see how it works, see if I was less glitchy. So we're gonna walk. Hopefully I stay clear. And I can't read the comments, you guys, but I will read the comments back when I go back to my desk and see how the live stream worked. So geopolitically, I think the U.S. is trying to look like they're starting a lot of drama right now, but I also almost feel like they have to do something to try and side with China. And I think after we saw President Trump go over to China, I think it was the start of what we're going to see, more globalization. And I hate to say that because I hear people talking about globalization. And when I think of globalization, I think of one world government, and one world government is like evil doomsday prophecy type stuff. So I don't really like that, but it kind of feels like that's the way that things are going, because we're supposedly, I've called the war with Iran a proxy war with China this whole time. But now here Trump is going over to China and it looks like we're all chummy friends. So there's a lot of things to kind of pay attention to. Whenever we go and invade somewhere, we're going to see something negative. So maybe all of a sudden the focus shifts to Cuba. There's a move on Cuba, and then we'll probably see something negative happen, some negative price action because of it. Because as much as we don't want to believe it's all geopolitically tied, it really is. You can see banks around the world are starting to harbor gold, and that was something they weren't really accumulating for a while. And you can just tell that there's a real run and a push for hard assets now. So anyway, some things to keep in mind, you guys. The show's kind of short for today because, well, there just really isn't a whole lot going on in the news. So there's that. But remember, 4-year market cycles are in play, and chances are we're going to need to start taking a look at our positions and deciding when we want to start scaling in on Bitcoin. So if you guys are new here, smash the subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm going to be working on a commercial tutorial thing for my market Cipher. So I've been meaning to do that for a while. So since I'm here at the beach and I have some time, I will finish editing that because I think you guys will love to have that included on the show. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye. Okay.